Breaking news, a rocket attack. Workers at a major U.S. oil company being evacuated. Exxon now getting workers out of the country after a rocket attack targets an oil facility in Iraq. This as tensions escalate between the U.S. and Iran after the attacks on those oil tankers.
White House shakeup. President Trump's pick for defense secretary suddenly stepping down amid revelations about past domestic violence in his family.
Also overnight, President Trump officially kicking off his re-election campaign for 2020.
Tonight, I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States.
And firing up the crowd with attacks on the media, on Hillary Clinton, who's not even running, and his promise all over again.
Royal collision. Prince William's convoy involved in a car accident, seriously injuring an 83-year-old woman. What the Duke and Duchess are saying this morning.
Baseball brawl, the brutal fight breaking out at a Little League game. Police searching for the man seen attacking several parents as their 7-year-olds watch from the sidelines.
The great white encounter, a massive shark leaping out of the water right off the East Coast, right up to this boat. And this morning, we're now hearing from those on board.
An ABC News exclusive. One-on-one with Duke superstar Zion Williamson, the basketball phenom on the verge of becoming the top pick in the NBA draft. What goes through your mind when you think about that #1 pick? What he has planned for the biggest stars in the NBA. Only on GMA this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Good morning, you two.
Hey,
good
good morning, Michael.
And I can't wait to see you go one-on-one with Zion, but I don't mean the interview, I mean on the court.
Oh, yeah. When I challenge him to that, you'll hear his response. He's a confident young man.
Yeah.
Wish him well. But first, we have a lot of news to get to this morning, including the latest on that breaking news overnight, a rocket exploding near that oil facility in Iraq. ABC Chief Global Affairs Martha Raddatz has more. She's there in Washington for us. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. We have the first images from Iraqi TV of the aftermath of the attack. This was a Katyusha rocket landing right in the middle of a housing facility of an oil drilling site in southern Iraq, where several international oil companies operate, including ExxonMobil. The attack wounded 3 Iraqi workers, and Exxon is now quickly evacuating more than 20 foreign workers, including Americans. This is, of course, raising alarms because of the increasing number of attacks in the region, attacks the U.S. blames on Iran. Not only those attacks on the oil tankers near the Strait of Hormuz, but the U.S. has already removed hundreds of diplomatic personnel from Iraq because of unspecified threats from Iran. And right now we have more than 1,000 additional troops heading for the region to provide added protection to the forces already there and to protect U.S. and allied interests in this very volatile part of the world. David?
All of this unfolding this morning. Martha, thank you. We're going to turn to the other major headline overnight. President Trump officially kicking off his re-election campaign in the key battleground state of Florida last night. A full house there, thousands on hand amid those new polls that show some Democrats running, including Joe Biden, holding quite a lead in Florida in head-to-head matchups with the president. Of course, plenty can change, and our chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl is live in Florida this morning. And Florida, it would seem, is a must-win, John, if the president wants a second term.
There's no question about that, David. The president kicked off his campaign here with a huge, enthusiastic crowd, a new slogan, and a speech that sounded like it could have been given during the last campaign.
The president made it official at a raucous rally in Orlando.
I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States.
He has a new slogan.
Keep America great.
But he's fighting old battles. He spent so much time attacking Hillary Clinton.
33,000 emails deleted, think of it.
It seemed for a while as if he was getting ready to run against her again. As the speech went on, the president made dark, unfounded attacks against Democrats.
Our radical Democrat opponents are driven by hatred, prejudice, and rage. They want to destroy you, and they want to destroy our country as we know it.
He fired up the crowd with the signature promise from his last campaign.
The wall is moving along. It's moving along rapidly. It's beautiful. I changed the design. It's stronger, bigger, better, and cheaper.
In fact, there have been only 45 miles of wall built so far, all of it in areas that already had a barrier. But as the president runs for re-election, he has something he didn't have the last time: an unquestionably strong economy to run on.
And together, we will make America wealthy again.
One thing striking about this speech was how little he talked about his potential 2020 Democratic rivals. He only mentioned two of them by name, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. And David, both of those references were short and in passing.
The other striking thing is that John Karl is already out there covering the race for 2020 all over again. Here we go, John. Thanks so much.
You got it. It's going to be a long one.
It will be. Yep. Michael, over to you.
Just getting started, David. And now we're going to go to the latest on that shakeup at the White House. President Trump's pick for defense secretary suddenly resigning amid revelations about past domestic violence in his family. ABC's Terry Moran has more in Washington. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Michael. This is a stunning development. Patrick Shanahan has been serving as acting Secretary of Defense for months, and as you say, it was widely expected that President Trump would nominate him to lead the Pentagon. But when these disturbing incidents arose from the sad and bitter breakup of his marriage years ago, Shanahan withdrew. Shanahan delivered the news to President Trump in person, who later praised his pick for Defense Secretary.
He is a terrific person, and it's a difficult time for Pat, but he's going to take a little time off for family service and for working things out.
And it is his family that is at the center of Shanahan's resignation. The Washington Post reports that police were sent to the Shanahan house in 2010 for a domestic violence call. Both Shanahan and his then-wife Kimberly were accusing each other of physical violence. Shanahan had a bloody nose, and police arrested only Kimberly. He later dropped the charges and they divorced. But there was an even more alarming incident involving the couple's then 17-year-old son, Will.
I'd like to acknowledge my 3 children who have accompanied me here today.
According to a police report from 2011, Will beat his mother with a baseball bat after an argument. The report saying that Will knowingly and intentionally shoved and pinned his mother to a wall, swinging the bat multiple times and striking the back of her head and torso, causing serious bodily harm, including a bloody head wound, fractured elbow, and fractured skull. Well, after that attack, Patrick Shanahan came to his son's defense. He wrote a memo to help with the court case in which he had described that attack as, quote, self-defense. He told the Washington Post he was wrong to write those sentences. Will Shanahan pled guilty to a felony charge, was sentenced to spend time at a Florida sheriff's ranch and put on probation, and he graduated from college last year. Robin?
All right, Terry, thank you. And this morning, a big hearing on Capitol Hill will raise the issue of reparations for slavery. This on Juneteenth, the day commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mary Bruce is there covering it all. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, as the nation commemorates the end of slavery, the Hill today will be examining this question of reparations. Actor Danny Glover and author Ta-Nehisi Coates will be here to testify on the issue and the lasting impacts of slavery. Reparations are an issue that have come up recently on the Democratic campaign trail. But here on the Hill, the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell made clear yesterday that he does not think reparations are a good idea. And he raised some eyebrows with this explanation referencing President Obama. Take a listen.
We've tried to deal with our original sin of slavery by fighting a civil war, by passing landmark civil rights legislation. We've elected an African-American president.
Now, the president Mitch McConnell went on to reference the fact that no one currently alive was responsible for slavery, and he said it would be hard to determine who exactly to pay reparations to. Robin.
His statement raised a lot of eyebrows, to say the least. And Mary, also today, House Democrats are hoping to have a breakthrough when it comes to obstruction of justice by interviewing Hope Hicks.
Yeah, Robin, for the first time, lawmakers here will have a chance to question a member of the president's inner circle since the release of the Mueller report. Hope Hicks is going to be grilled here about those alleged incidents of obstruction outlined in the report, and I'm told also about those hush money payments that were made to Stormy Daniels. Hope Hicks, of course, is a familiar face by the president's side as his former communications director and close aide. She witnessed much of the president's behavior during the campaign in that first year in office. Her name is actually one of the most frequently mentioned in the report. But Robin, there are a lot of questions here about how forthcoming she is going to be. The president has directed her not to answer any questions about her time as one of his senior advisors, and that is not likely to go over well here with Democrats.
We'll see what happens today. All right, Mary. Thank you, David.
In the meantime, Robin, we're going to turn now to the severe weather. The dangerous driving stretching this morning from plains to the northeast. Heavy rain, damaging winds, and flooding. Even possible tornadoes today. Ginger is here tracking it all this morning. Morning, Ginger.
Good morning, David. Yes, we have it all. And we begin with a state of emergency in West Lafayette, Ohio. So we're looking at pictures from Clinton, Ohio, where there were evacuations, 6 to 8 feet of standing water thanks to the flash flooding. This morning, evacuations are ongoing in towns in Ohio thanks to those trailing thunderstorms. Wichita, Kansas also picked up close to 6 to 9 inches just southeast of them. So flash flooding, a big deal all across that stationary front that's barely moving. So Champaign, Indiana through Dayton, Ohio, all the way to New Jersey and Pennsylvania, we're watching for more flooding today. Then the tornado part of it, Kinsley, Kansas. This was one of 3 reported tornadoes. A quick look at who has to watch for those today. I think Dallas, northeast Texas there through Arkansas, even southern Indiana, Michael.
All right, thank you, Ginger. And overnight, reports of Prince William's convoy involved in a car accident, seriously injuring an 83-year-old woman. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in London with the latest on the incident. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Michael, to you from London. We are getting reports overnight that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's convoy was involved in a road accident. Here's what happened. A police motorbike leading the royal motorcade, which was traveling from London to Windsor for a royal event on Monday, hit and injured an 83-year-old woman as she tried to cross the street in South London. The 83-year-old has been identified as Irene Mayer. She is in the hospital with serious injuries, but according to her daughter, her condition is stable. Kensington Palace, they say this morning that the Duke and Duchess are, quote, deeply concerned and have sent their very best wishes to the family. Now, the response from the Duke and Duchess was actually pretty swift, unlike the palace's reaction when 97-year-old Prince Philip collided with a car last January. He was criticized for being slow to contact the passenger he injured. Now, guys, this is the 4th road incident involving a member of the royal family in the last 7 months. Police are, of course, investigating. Robin.
Stephanie, thank you. Now to major developments this morning in the David Ortiz shooting. Authorities in the Dominican Republic expected today to reveal why the retired Red Sox star was attacked. Victor Oquendo is there and has the latest. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Robin. It's now been more than a week since David Ortiz was shot here in the Dominican Republic. And later today, we expect to hear from prosecutors who have been putting this all together all along. We hope to learn 2 of the big missing pieces to this puzzle: the motive behind the attack and who ordered it. An 11th suspect now under arrest in connection with the plot to assassinate the former slugger. Sources say police think he rented one of the cars used in the shooting. Police are also looking for yet another suspect who they believe paid the hitmen to carry out the shooting, but say that person is not necessarily the one who ordered the attack. Robin, we expect to get a lot of answers to all these questions.
Hopefully so. And Victor, what's the latest on Big Papi's condition?
Well, he's still in the hospital, but the good news is he is improving. We heard from his wife. She released a statement saying that doctors have upgraded his condition to good. Tiffany Ortiz went on to say that David's journey to good health has been bolstered by the many expressions of love that have come to us from across the globe. Your support has lifted his spirits tremendously during this challenging time. Robin?
Good to know that his condition has improved. All right, Victor, thank you.
That's for sure, Robin. Thanks. Now to the new fallout overnight from that viral video in Phoenix showing officers pointing their guns at a couple and their young children. That family and supporters rallying at a meeting overnight to confront the mayor and the police chief, and Adrian Bankert was right there in the room. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning to you too, David. Yes, around the country, mixed reaction, but here in Phoenix, inside that meeting, a unanimously angry crowd that gave a standing ovation to the couple that police suspected of shoplifting. Overnight, as many as 2,500 residents, activists, and community members packed into this church to confront Phoenix City leaders.
Nobody should ever try to justify what happened that day on that video. Nobody.
The panel, which included the mayor and chief of police, came face to face with Drayvon Ames, along with his pregnant fiancee, Aisha Harper, and their young children. The family now at the center of a police controversy made public in this video many say is a demonstration of excessive force.
When I tell you to do something, you do it.
Police officers are caught on camera shouting at the family at gunpoint.
When I tell you to put
Police say the couple had been shoplifting, which led to this confrontation. Their 4-year-old daughter walking out of this store with a doll that no one had paid for.
They're trying to hurt us because she took a doll. Mass murderers get walked down and without a scratch. Without a scratch.
Ames' attorney says that nothing can justify that police response.
Let's say they took every single item from that store. Does that justify police brutality? No.
Many in the audience use this latest case to address other frustrations with Phoenix police.
I'm shaking right now because I can't imagine that being happening to me or my brother.
I am deeply sorry for the events that led us here today.
At one point, the police chief is booed, urging the angry crowd to listen.
Real change doesn't start with the police department. Real change starts with our community.
And police and the mayor have vowed that there will be more community meetings like this in the near future. Guys.
All right, Adrian, thank you.
A lot of emotion behind all of that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, guys. And now to that baseball brawl caught on camera at a Little League game in Colorado. Police are now searching for the man who punched several parents. And ABC's Eva Pilgrim is here in the studio with the ladies. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, guys. This kid's baseball game got ugly. The parents going at it, and the reason? A call over one of the players batting out of order.
Tempers flaring at this Little League game involving 7-year-olds. Instead of celebrating good sportsmanship, parents turned into poor sports.
What is happening?
The brawl, caught on camera, broke out on the field at Westgate Elementary School after a call made by the umpire, who is just 13 years old.
It's disgusting. I highly doubt that the Rockies had any scouts there during the game.
In the video, watch as one man comes up from behind to throw his arm around another person before nearly half a dozen parents rush to the fence throwing punches. Parents barely getting their kids to safety as this man in a white shirt and teal pants is seen grabbing another gentleman's shirt and hurling punches at him.
In Jesus' name, right now, Jesus.
Then, as other parents are finding that same man in the white shirt and teal pants sucker punching a man again and knocking him to the ground.
This cannot happen.
This morning, police in Lakewood, Colorado, now asking the public to help them identify that man in the teal shorts, seen multiple times throughout the video.
Kids look up to you. My kid does. If you don't lead by example, what do you expect the future to be?
We're talking about a 7-year-old baseball game. 7-year-olds. It's the parents who need to grow up.
And several parents were hurt, one of them seriously. Police say some were cited, but no arrests have been made yet. But it's hard to watch that video.
Yeah,
I mean,
nuts.
they're just going at each other.
I know. And they're seven. Seven.
Seven.
The parents are 8.
The umpire was just 13 years
Yeah,
old.
exactly.
I know, a kid.
Yeah.
And the parents are acting up.
All right. Well, we know how we feel about it. Thank you, Eva. Got a lot of other headlines this morning that we're following, including that really close encounter with a great white. This was right off the northeast here, and we're hearing from folks who are on that boat. Look at that. So close.
Yeah. Also this morning, our exclusive with superstar Zion. Doesn't even need a last name.
Doesn't
Zion. He's going to tell us how his life is about to change before tomorrow's NBA draft. That's coming up. But now let's get back to Ginger.
Can't wait for that one. Okay, so how about I show you? We talk about a lot of rain, but you don't remember about erosion. Look at this family's driveway. Gone thanks to all of the rain. And yes, there is more where that came from. Right around that stationary front, the area that's been so tortured by water, southern Indiana, Kentucky, getting another 4 to 6 inches. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the stormy city, sponsored by Liberty Mutual.
Doug.
Exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Nice. But what's up with your partner?
Oh, we just spend all day telling everyone how we customize car insurance because no two people are alike, so. Limu gets a little confused when he sees another bird that looks exactly like him. Yeah. He'll figure it out. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Not on weather alert for today, but we will be tomorrow. Today we'll have some isolated to scattered wet weather in the form of some showers and thunderstorms coming your way for the afternoon. 83 the high for today. Again, extremely high humidity for today and tomorrow before better weather moves in on Friday. Weather alert tomorrow. Any of those storms could bring some high winds as well as some heavy rains. 88 the high tomorrow, feeling like we're in the lower 90s. Lower humidity for Friday, even a little breezy for the first day of summer coming your way on Friday.
Hump day.
Darling, I'm far away, but I will be home real soon.
Jessica?
That's me, party one. A smile on my face, 'cause I got